Put a pin in it, put a pin in it. You know we gotta get going so we can finish it. Put a pin in it, put a pin in it. You know we can never lose, we gon' win in it. Put a pin in it, put a pin in it. You know we gotta get going so we can finish it. Put a pin in it, put a pin in it. You know we can never lose, we gon' win in it. Put a pin in it, put a pin in it. Put a pin in it, put a pin in it. You know we gotta get going so we can finish it. Put a pin in it, put a pin in it. You know we can never lose, we gon' win in it. Put a pin in it, put a pin in it. You know we gotta get going so we can finish it. Put a pin in it, put a pin in it. You know we can never lose, we gon' win in it. Put a pin in it, put a pin in it.
All right. I just noticed what was going on. My phone was playing. I kept saying, "What is that? What is that?" But my phone was playing. Y'all probably didn't hear it. But hello, hello, hello. You have tuned in to Put a Pin in It Conversations with Elisa, and I am Elisa. Hey, tonight, tell your neighbor tonight. Type in the chat tonight. We are going to be doing a review on the movie The Deliverance that was written, and I guess was it written? I don't know. That was produced, and Lee Daniels is responsible for this movie that we watched. I'm going to go ahead and do a disclaimer. If you have not watched the movie, this is a spoiler because I'm going to just go through what I felt when I watched the movie. First of all, let me tell you something. I am not the type person to watch movies like this. I don't watch horror movies ever since the first Exorcist came about. This has not been my thing. Okay, The Exorcist, I believe, gave me PTSD. I I was terrified watching The Exorcist, okay? But The Deliverance was was not that intense, and I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, I'm gonna give a disclaimer. If you are scary like me, you should watch The Deliverance during the day, like I did. You should invite somebody over to watch it with you, like I did. Just in case it get a little too much for you, so you won't be alone. But it was nowhere near The Exorcist, not to me. It was not that intense. And I think The Exorcist was more intense for me because I watched The Exorcist when I was little. And the part that didn't even scare me with the exes was all the stuff that was going on. The part that scared me the worst in the exes. Do y'all remember this part? He said, "Did you do that?" And she said, "Uh-huh." I said, "What?" I didn't sleep for years after seeing that. But anyway, we are going to go into the Deliverance. Now listen, The movie is based off of a true story. Um, I read up on it, and the house is now demolished, because nobody would live in it, because the last people that lived in there, it was a lot of demonic activity. So it was based off of a true story. Now, listen, if you don't believe demons exist, I don't think that this is an introduction for you. Now, I grew up around, my daddy was a faith healer, so I grew up around a lot of deliverance ministry. Maybe that's why this wasn't as scary to me as well. But anyway, we're gonna go through the movie. So in the beginning, it starts out slow, like all horror movies do. It starts off slow, but you can tell as it move along that something was getting ready to happen, right? When the boy was having like sleep paralysis, he was sleepwalking. The younger boy, I think his name was Andre, he was the youngest son. And the anger from the older son. Um, and I noticed from dealing with, demonic activity, what people that are demon possessed, there's always a door that happens, right? And we see in the movie that the mom and the daughter, Alberta and Ebony, they had a broken relationship. We see that. And the mom evidently was, a rolling stone, and the daughter evidently was the same thing too. The children were upset because they didn't have their daddy, and you saw them texting their daddy back and forth about the stuff that they hated about their mom at home, but she was doing the best she could. Okay. And all throughout the movie, I was like, these children don't see that their mama is trying to provide for them. They getting on her last nerve and all this. But anyway, so the mama was drinking, she was broken, she didn't believe nobody loved her, and all this kind of stuff like that. So my thinking, this is my thing. When watching movies like this, you're like, okay, do this really happen? It really happens. Because I remember it just happens. So I'm gonna keep going through the movie. So you have the social worker, which is Cynthia Henry, which is Monique. She was being nasty. Of course, that added more stress, but there was something in the house. And the mom wasn't, a part of the church, so she really didn't know what was going on. She just was like, okay, y'all are acting weird, you kids are acting really strange. I don't know what's going on or whatever, but there was a woman that kept coming by the house named Apostle Bernice James. She kept coming and Ebony thought she was a part of the social worker, but when she approached her, she was like, I'm an apostle. And I kid you not, when she said, I'm an apostle, I'm a prophet, I do what God tell me to do in these times. I yelled in my house, I said, yeah, 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 yeah. But as time go along, she told the story. She was telling Ebony a story that, there's demons in your house. Your children are possessed. By this time, the kids were in the hospital. Your children are possessed. We got to do it. We got to do a deliverance. She didn't call it an exorcism. We got to do a deliverance and all of these things. I'm skipping parts because I want you to go watch the movie. We got to do a deliverance and all this kind of stuff like that. But when the apostle said, I tried to do it the first time and it didn't work, I looked over to Latrice. I said, what make her think she can do it this time? What make Apostle think that she can do it this time? These demons are older and they stronger. What think you think? Back then you couldn't do it now, and you think you can do it now? So that stuck in my head. I put a pin in that when that happened. So when she was like, we got to get your kids, we're going to do the deliverance and all, we got to get your son. Your son is the main one. So they took the youngest boy and left the other ones because he was the main one that needed to be delivered. Child, when that devil got the moving, I've seen this with my own eyes. When that devil got the moving, And y'all probably saw this posted on my page. And she said, I can smell your nappy. And then she started like saying stuff that would break the confidence of the apostle and everything like that. And that's what demons do. They actually do that when you're trying to do a deliverance service or whatever you want to call it. When you're trying to cast out a demon, they try to find the weakest thing about you and try to break your faith. And boy, did they not break her faith. Lord, I was like, and when she said it, and I saw her like getting a little fumbled, and that's what they do. I've been in a service where um a man was trying to cast out a demon of this woman, and she said, I know you want to F me in the service. I know you ain't clean, you ain't holy. Who so if you and now I see why a lot of people don't cast out demons because they will call your stuff out. The only way that they can call your stuff out is if you washed in the blood and you can shut they mouth up before they get to talking. If you can shut them up before they get to you, you're good. But if you ever let them start talking, oh, you're gonna be shaking in your boots because they know everything. I'm telling you right now, they know everything, and they're gonna come for what they know, and they're gonna try to shake your faith. So they shook her faith, but thanks be unto God that Ebony really was sincere. And this is the part that I liked about this movie. Ebony she wasn't saved a long time. She hadn't been in the church years upon years like apostle. um but she loved her kids, and she just was like, okay, I just got to go for what I know because I don't want my child to die. And I don't really know what I'm doing, but I remember what apostle told me. So let me at least try. And when Ebony started just went, and you can tell she was sincere. And so when she got sincere, that devil said, wait a minute now. Where did that come out? Where did that come from? You what is going on here? So when she started saying, you because the devil tried to get her and said nobody loves you and your mama don't love you. And she said, my mom does love me. My mom do love me. And then when she said, then when when she lifted her hands and she started speaking in them tongues, and she was like, and it was a powerful moment. It really was. She didn't, and she just went with the flow, and then the devil was defeated. Ay, 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 ay. The devil was defeated. So it was not a scary movie. It wasn't as scary as I thought it would be because I do not like movies that deal with um I say exorcism because that's what we usually see it as. But this is the first time I seen it to where it was like what I've seen before. This was the first time I seen somebody speaking in tongues. This was the first time that I saw um, you know, somebody that just, because usually the priests and stuff that do the exorcism, they are like dog old, you know they're really old, and they believe in what they do. They believe in all the holy stuff that they use to exercise people, and I believe that's why it works. But sometimes when when they're like have unbelief, it's really bad. It's really, exorcisms can really go left. Okay. And it's just it was a the moves I see Patricia said, it was okay. It was okay What I'm trying to get people to see that it was not scary. It was not it was not it was, I know it was dark, but because my I watched it in the light and my TV is like right here and the sun was like really shining on my TV. I couldn't really see like some parts because it was just so light in the house. But by the end of the movie, I was able to see a lot. I was strategic in watching it that way. But it was not scary. It's not going to keep me up at night. Yes, there we go, Jessica. It was realistic. It was not like something far-fetched, something that you would not see. Jada Marie said, I feel priests have their own methods because I don't see Catholics speaking in tongues. No, they believe in the things that they use. I'm not Catholic, so I don't really know, but I know this. The things that they use, like the holy water, the sacraments, the even down to the robes that they wear when they exercise people, is all of it is like sacred. They believe in that stuff. Yes, and they speak Latin. All that stuff right there is spooky to me. Have y'all heard somebody speak in Latin before? That language is ancient and it is scary. And I think that's why I'm scared of those type movies, because they speak in those type that language when they're casting out demons, and they do a lot of things. But this movie right here was very realistic for me. Um I've I really seen it with I've seen stuff like that with my own eyes. Like I remember, and my dad told me a story where there was this woman. She was small too, but there was this woman. She was going through battling in her mind to, like, was she going to live for God, or was she gonna, do whatever? Because God was calling her to preach. Um, God was calling her to preach. Hold on. Dion McIver said, watched it last night. It could have been longer to capture more of the battle to get the kids back. No, it was just the right time. Let me tell y'all, that movie would have been over for me when if I was Ebony driving that car and I looked in the back of that car and it was raining. I looked in the back of that back seat of the car and saw my kids' face change like that. When I swerved over, the movie would have been over. Because I would have said, forget them kids. They wanted to take them anyway. Take them. Take them, children, because I'm done. This movie is over. Forget them kids. I don't want them. And they were already talking smack to me too. Please, bye. Mm-mm. And I wasn't possessed. Oh no, bye, kids. No. But anyway, somebody said it's tongues, Elisa. Well, my tongues don't. I don't know. Do my tongues sound Latin? Maybe they are. Maybe my tongues are Latin. But it's the way that the pronunciation that they do it when they doing an exorcism. It's really scary the way that they do it. And then they say stuff like who beseeched you, and bequeath. They be saying a whole lot of stuff that just be like, oh, it scares me. But anyway, that movie would have been over at that point. When I saw Andre face turn to that, it would have been over. There would have been no more. The whole family cuss that took me off. Yes. Like everybody was just going in. Like the mama, the daddy, not the daddy, the mama and the son. The only one that would the little boy was just mute. He wouldn't, he just called I don't know. I remember one time my daughter, she was talking about, she had like imaginary friends and stuff like that. I told her, I said, girl, no, that don't play with that. You don't have imaginary friends. That's not true. That's not real. And so I'm glad we got through that phase because I do believe that demons and stuff come through people, and they come through the mind, and they try to overtake your mind and have you thinking stuff that just, ooh, you need to get that stuff together. Oh yeah, when Andre pooped in class, that was crazy. Now see, these these like that was a shocker. I would have never thought that would be shown. A girl having her period, and then all of that was crazy. You never seen stuff like that in movies. Like Lee Daniels and Tyler Perry must have got together because when they did that movie, when Tyler Perry did his movie about the man, they pulling the man out the casket. I never would think somebody would do something like that. But oh my God. Anyway, Netflix movies always have a bunch of cursing. Do they? See, I'm not a movie watcher on Netflix. I think I watch a lot of documentaries. Somebody was telling me that if you're watching on Instagram, you went out because my computer died. But I just the movies that was a shocker. But that stuff like that happens. Peeing on yourself, pooping on your and I know it comes because demons are like they want to defy you, like make you so defiant against every. That's why I knew at the beginning of the movie something must have been going on with the oldest son because he was being extra defiant, like really like extra. Yandor said Tyler Perry movies are horrible. He can't write. I wouldn't say he can't write. I think Tyler Perry rushes his work, and he proved to us that he did. I think he rushes and he tries to finish so fast because he don't want to spend a lot of money. They, if you would listen to the documentary that he had that came out, Tyler Perry will do a movie in a month. That is unheard of. Warner Brothers, all of them, when they do movies, it takes like 2 to 3 years for them to complete a movie, right? I think Tyler Perry, he doesn't. It's like he rushes his stuff, and you can tell that he rushed and try to, get his people paid and stuff like. I applaud him for that, but the people that is watching, we we get tired of seeing the scenes. Like, for instance, sisters. How long was Karen pregnant before we saw a baby bump? It was like 2 seasons. And so I just think sometimes he just do whatever. All right, he demeans women. He needs to hire black writers. You think he demeans women? I think he demeans men. Let me think, Tyler Perry. I think it's both. He demeans black people. But we watch it. Like the men are always abusive. The women are always slow, and I don't know. Anyway, we ain't talking about him. We talking about Lee Daniels. Now, so if you are wanting to watch The Deliverance, okay, these are my recommendations for you. I went all around the movie because I want you to be like, okay, she's not going in chronological order. I'm not, because I want people to go watch it that have not seen it. Now, I would recommend, if you are like me, to watch the movie during the day, because at night sometimes our imagination is a little bit wilder than it is during the day. That's just a safety precaution. If you don't do, the horror stuff, if you are a horror film person, fine, watch it whenever you want to. But I'm not a horror film person, so I'm speaking for those that are like me. Watch it during the day. I watched the first part of it with Latrice, but the last 29 minutes of it, I watched it by myself because she had somewhere else to go. So If I watched it by myself, the last 29 minutes, which is when the demonic activity was going on, then you should be fine, right? All right, number 2, I would say, I saw a lot of people saying that, this is a dark movie. You shouldn't watch it without pleading the blood. Y'all look, listen. If you needed to, I mean, I did some praying or whatever like that, but I have watched Marvel movies that were more demonic than that movie. I have watched cartoons, Disney movies that was probably more that, I mean, to me, if you think it was that bad, that means you ain't never seen it happen in person before. You've never seen it. That, like somebody said tonight, it was realistic. And I was glad to see that something, was portrayed by a black church. Because most of the time when we see demonic movies, it's the priest doing the exorcism. But this time it was Ebony calling on Jesus. Oh, and when she said Jesus, when she hardly couldn't say it, that did something to me too. She said, Jesus. I was like, yes, sir. Come on in here with this movie now. Okay, Lee Daniels, who you been to church? But anyway, but and I did just want you to know that that's what happens. The demon tries to find a weakness and tries to shake your faith. And Apostle James, she didn't make it. Um and I saw somebody say they wish that they would have showed that she had more power, but that is realistic. That what they showed um about Apostle James, that's realistic. You want to help. It's in the Bible, the sons of Sceva. You know, the you think you got the power to do it, but then when the rubber meets the road, she came in there with all the intentions to do, you know, and thank God she told Ebony what to do and gave her, some pointers and stuff like that before all of that happened. Um, but what if she hadn't? That whole family would have been lost. So I think sometimes we demonize movies. This is one movie I think that could be a teaching point, for churches to use. I mean, but if you're not really into deliverance, I think you should stay away from it. Because that stuff is real. It's not fake. It's not fake. But anyway, so overall, what would I give the movie? Overall, I would give the Deliverance. If we was going by 5 stars, I would give Deliverance. What y'all say before I say what I'm gonna say? Give me from 1 to 5. 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. Jermaine said 4.5. That's high. 4.5. Anybody else? Why you couldn't give them the 0.5, Jermaine? He said 4.5. You might as well say 5. Um, Angel, give him a 4. Okay, Lee Daniels. 4, 4.5. I'm going to give the Deliverance. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 because Letitia Murphy, hey, teach. She's giving it a 4.5. Renee Price giving it a 5. Dang, now I feel bad. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 because um it was a lot. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 because I don't like movies that first of all, like I said, the screen stayed dark. Did it ever get daytime? It probably did, but I was watching it during the day, so I couldn't tell. But the screen was so dark, and maybe it was me. Maybe it was. So to me, it was like they was trying to make it so dark when it didn't really have to. Just tell the story. So you're and I don't like movies that have that peel music in the background. These are nitpicking stuff for me. So let me take that back. I give them a 4. I give it a 4 because the plot was good. The ending was good. The the meat of it was good. I just didn't like the other stuff surrounding it. That's all. Like I just didn't like that. The apostle needed to do her first one. Yeah, we talked about her teacher. Like, but that is real. We got to say that is real. Who do you know right now that you will call on to cast out a demon? That's in your local church. If you know somebody, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't know somebody, put a 2 in the chat. Who would you call on? If somebody, the kid's mama got on one. Okay, Jermaine said he know one. I know who y'all thinking about too. If you don't, okay, besides that person, who would you call on to cast out a demon? I'm talking about Legion, because that's what was in that house. Like, who could you call on? So Apostle Bernice James, she meant well, but like we talked about earlier, demons try to find your weakness. That's why I don't understand. That's why I don't understand why people act like this. Let me see. We just went through that at my local church. Oh, okay. Did they get delivered? People act like they are so scared nowadays. I don't think it's that, because when I was growing up, I was scary. I don't think I'm scary anymore because it I got to be not, because I watched it. I would not dare back in the day watch something like that. I wouldn't. But people are like Apostle James in that movie. Cause when she met her, she said, "I'm an apostle," and I remember that part because I was like, "Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah." I was playing. I was like, "Okay, apostle, okay, prophet," and so, but it came down to the when it came down to the wire, she ain't even had no power. You claiming this title, and you can't even do it. You But like I told Latrice when she was telling Ebony she couldn't do it the first time, I was like, what make her think she gonna do it this time? I don't nothing in my body, if I was Apostle James, would have made me go for round 2 after all that she saw on the first time. Nothing in my body. I would have taught her what she needed to know and said, go with God, Christy. Go with God, because I know what you about to be up against. I ain't doing that. I like the part when the social worker got a chance. Yes, I like that part too, because the social worker, and that's how they are too. The social worker had the power. I mean, the social worker was so mean to that girl. She had power to speak to them, no power to cast them out. And that's what I'm saying. Now, see, there was a man that Bob Lawson, he would just let the demons talk. Now, when I was growing up, I was taught you supposed to shut them up. Like you wasn't supposed to let them say nothing, because stuff like that happened. What happened to her? The movie was disjointed. Thank you. That's the word I'm trying to use, because in the beginning I was thrown all over the place, but then I was able to push it back together by midway. That's why I was gonna give it a 3.5, but I give it a 4 because I was able to put it together. But it was doing a lot in the beginning. But Tisha said she needed to sit her behind down. Exactly. But I'm just saying, y'all, I overall though, I enjoy the movie. That is huge for me. I enjoy the movie, and I would recommend that you would go watch it in the daytime and make sure. And but if you watch it at night, I think at night if you watch it, it'll be a little more intense because when night fall, it feels different. And I believe if I watched it at night, I would have been a little bit more scared than I watched it during the day. I don't know why that is, but that's just how it is. I enjoyed it. All the actors was good, um, and all those things. So I enjoyed it. We finally got a black exorcist. And it was really what I know to be true. If you're just joining, I said that, demons do say stupid stuff like that. They really do. Like Glenn Close as the mother did. Yeah, she's a great actress, like for real. She played her part. But I wanted to say something about Omar Epps. Don't he what's wrong with him? He looks so old now. And they had a nerve to put him liking the mama, the grandma. I said, why? He looks so old now. Or is it just me? But anyway, they say stupid stuff like that. And for the little boy to turn in, I mean, it just was it would my daddy told me that happens, that they can turn into whatever. Don't be fooled by the voices. You can't be fooled by the voices. So um they can present themselves as somebody that you really really loved, or present themselves as somebody that can like make you weak in the knees. And so you just got to be ready, and that's why I think that you're not supposed to let them talk like that. For her to say she can smell her nappy, girl, come on now. um you have to have a strong prayer life to work in deliverance ministry. Yes, you do. And you need to be honest about that. Back in the day, I used to be honest about that. I was like, mm-mm. I feel like that I, but I knew that just wasn't my calling. It just wasn't. My calling was to get away. That was my calling. It just because y'all, they would do a lot. They would do a lot. And that's why that movie didn't really like, the climber on the wall, okay. But if you want to do a real deliverance movie, let them slide on the floor and they tongue be like long and falling out their mouth, and the eyes black was accurate. And that little boy in the back of the seat of the car, the pupils in the eyes be black and all this. Okay, do that, yeah. But like all that other stuff, I don't know, the levitating, that I've seen that. People have to keep the people down on the ground. But but they do say things that will be shocking. There was one I heard of a story that was they was singing this choir was singing a hymn, and the reason why they knew the girl was possessed was because she was singing with them, but she was singing over them, like huh? like really over and off. And so they was like, what's going on with her? And so when they stopped her or whatever, they didn't say hush in the name of Jesus. But when they when they stopped the girl from singing, they had to do a deliverance on her, because I'm saying deliverance now. They had to cast the devil out because she was possessed. And they told all the kids to put their hand over their heart and plead the blood of Jesus and don't move because you don't want the demon to jump in you and all this kind of stuff like that. Put the Bible over their heart, you know. I just don't fool up with it. Desiree said, no, I'ma just pass on this one. It's not bad, Desiree. It's really not bad. It's not as bad as you think. And I don't watch movies like that. So if I'm saying it's not that bad, it's not that bad. I'm giving you an honest review. But for you, I would say just watch it in daytime. It's different during the day. Is that it? Is that all I want to say? So I give it a 4. I said 3.5 at first, but I give it a 4. Not all 5 stars, but I give it a 4 because it's based off a true story as well. Now I'm intrigued to go. There is a documentary about the true story. I might have to check it out. Andre Day did excellent. Andre Day did do excellent. And some of the times, some of her shots, she looked like Taraji. But it could be because I was watching during the day and the glare on my TV, I really couldn't see. I had a glare on my TV. I was like, God, you are protecting me from watching all of this. Yes, they have a documentary on the real thing. When I find it, I'm gonna let y'all know what it is. But this has been put a pin in it. My review to Lee Daniels, The Deliverance. Um, go watch it. And then come back and give us your review on what you think it is. You out of 1 through 5, what do you believe is your rating for this movie? Lee Daniels, thank you for employing Monique. She did a great job. She's a great actress. But it was good. It was like a star-studded cast. The documentary, hold on, let me see. I want to find it, just give it to you. Somebody told me about it on one of my posts, and I'm gonna go look it up. Okay. Somebody put it on one of my posts, but I'm gonna find it and I'm just gonna post it for you on Facebook and Instagram. I can't post it on I might can put it on YouTube. But anyway, so this has been a review. More sometimes I watch stuff and I come here and we talk about it. Um, but like I said, if I was in that movie, it would have been over in that car ride. And when you watch the movie, just think about me. You gonna be like, Lisa's right. That car ride when she looked back there in that back seat and saw that boy eyes black as black could be. That would have been forget them kids. Hey, y'all want them anyway. Hey, state, come get them. Cause I ain't doing it. You heard me? I'm going to go up in tongues the whole. It's not that bad, Desiree. It's not bad. And when I first started out, I talked about the exit. It ain't if you can watch the original Exorcist, you definitely can watch this. You definitely can watch this movie because if you and if you've seen a demon getting cast out in church, you can definitely. Oh, you don't watch that one. She said, I've never seen that one. Don't watch that. Because that one is crazy. That one was so bad that the girl that acted in that movie, she never was right. She didn't recover. That's how bad that movie was. That's how bad that movie was. And I watched that movie when I was a child. I should not have. You have to know what to do because you can have demonic activity. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Um, but when I was watching the movie, I didn't either either I am so far removed from religion that it didn't really whatever. But I believe that I don't know. I just it didn't hit me the way that it hit me when I watched The Exorcist. That thing right there took me out. I didn't sleep for years. I'm over exaggerating, but when I watched The Exorcist, I didn't sleep for a long time. I was scared of nightfall after watching that movie. Um, the teacher received a yeah, we talked about that. That is crazy. Yeah, the teacher that part right there was, but it's true. That demons want to defy. They want to, like, they are so defiant and they are so nasty. Their mouth is so filthy. So when it said what it said, I was like, Renee said they can sometimes follow you home from church. They can. The Spider-Man moment was interesting when the nurse said she is not going in the room. See, can you imagine nurses working at places like that and they have to, and they're not even, tapped in to what's going on, and they still have to work with them people? Mm, I can't. There is a new Exorcist that's not that bad. Well, I don't really look. I ain't finna start volunteering them type movies out to people to watch because I don't watch them myself. I watched The Exorcist by default because everybody in my house was watching it, and I was little, and they showed The Exorcist on TV when I was little. I don't know why, but they showed it on TV with commercials and everything, and it still was scary. That's why I keep myself annoyed daily going to work. Oh, anointed. Yes, you gotta anoint yourself. You got to anoint yourself regardless. But anyway, this was great. I just wanted to come here and let y'all know what I thought. I think it's a good movie. You should go see it. Um, if you are not into watching movies like this, it's at your discretion. And I would just tell you, just watch it during the day. If you watch it during the day, you should be okay. Okay. All right. So what I that's all I got. But Tuesday at 9 p.m. I will be live with a guest. I don't know which guest is gonna be. I asked someone that I think is really great to come Tuesday. I need to call her tomorrow. But if not, if she's not on, I know for sure the lady that make my clothes, TS Couture, will be on here with me on Tuesday. Okay. And we're gonna have a good time. She's amazing. She's a cut up time. You hear me? All right, so that's it. I'm out.
But I've been